Hey, long time no see. I'm Andrea, host of the Cat Lady podcast. That's 2T, CATT, craft all the things. Oh, it's been a odd week and a half, so I apologize for the delay and just kind of falling off the face of the planet there. I mean, it was only a week and a half, but still kind of felt like the week lasted forever. So I will get into that later. So welcome if this is the first time joining me. Hello, thanks for checking me out. If you are a returning viewer, of course, thank you for coming back, especially after last week's episode, or last episode, which was like a week and a half ago. That was kind of I don't know what that was. So let's pretend that one just didn't happen. So I got my notes this week. I got lots of things to show off this week. And yeah, so let's just get right to it. You can find me on, it's February 29th, 2016, so happy leap day. I'm ready to be done with February, so let's just get through this day and then it'll be March. But you can find me on YouTube, Ravelry, Instagram, Facebook, all as the Cat Lady, 2 T's. Just do a search for the Cat Lady and all where you can find me will show up, and I'm mostly on Ravelry. There's a Ravelry group where you can enter for giveaways and just see what's going on. And then my blog, which is kind of so updated, is the catlady.blogspot.com. I really need to figure out what I'm doing with that. So this week we'll go over a little bit of podcast news, knitting, some stash, and the week and a half in review. So let's step right into podcast news. We have a couple introductions. If you want to introduce yourself and say hello, I will say hello to you on the podcast. I'm not even going to attempt to say this name. I'm just going to put it on the screen here. She is Lena from Norway, living in Sweden. She says there's expensive shops in Sweden compared to Norway, so she had to travel with a big stash. So she found me through the Two Tangled Skeins podcast, so thank you for coming on over and checking me out. Next up is TopCat62, who is Teresa from Florida. She's been knitting for 22 years, spinning for 21, and she went back and watched all my episodes, so that is pretty fantastic, so thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed them. Last is Pindall, who is a crazy crafty mama. She's into geocaching, which I don't think I've ever mentioned on here. Me and my husband used to love geocaching, and we still do, but we haven't done it. The last we went, we've kind of popped in and out occasionally here and there. But with the kids, it's just been difficult. So now that they're getting a little bit older and can actually walk around, we may be able to take them out with us. But if you do not know who geocaching is, go to the website, www.geocaching.com. But it's a GPS treasure hunt, kind of. Basically, people hide things anywhere. They could be little things. They could be big things. In like containers. So like say a Rubbermaid bin, or I'm just going to use this as an example. You probably wouldn't hide a glass object, but so you put a log in there that you can sign your name, and sometimes people put little trinkets in there, trade. I mean, just silly little things like erasers, pencils, whatever. And then you hide it somewhere in the woods, and then you find that you upload the GPS coordinates to the website, and then I can come along and download those GPS coordinates and go find it. And then I can sign it, and I can put something in it if I want, and take something out if I want. And there's also like travel bugs, they're called. It's fun. It's so much fun. But they can get small too. They can be like the size of magnets, and they can be on the back of a stop sign. We found they're called micros. We've done lots of those. We've done the fun ones are the ones that you kind of go out into like a state park or something, and you can find a whole bunch of them like in the woods. But we like the urban ones too. So like at the shopping mall, they're like could be hidden in one of those lamp post things, in a bush, in like a little medicine. Those are pretty popular little pill bottle. So if that sounds interesting to you, go check out geocaching.com, and eventually I have a travel bug on the back of my car. I have a license plate frame that says geocaching and stuff. Well, that is broken. I gotta take it off, but we're definitely gonna get back to it someday. Just hasn't happened yet, so maybe this summer. So, and if I do, I will tell you about our geocaching adventures. So thank you for introducing yourself, Pindall. She has trouble sleeping, she says, but she says insomnia equals more knitting time. So that's a positive spin on it. I myself would, oh, I'm not good without sleep. I'm not good without sleep. I am just not a friendly person. Let's just put it that way. So, but again, if you want to introduce yourself, come say hi. We have a giveaway, and I didn't grab the bag. The Tangled Skein CA, who is Sue from Two Tangled Skeins, is offering a bag to give away, and it's a sock size bag, so, you know, about the size, but it's a Japanese knot bag. Go to the thread in the Ravelry group, and you'll see a picture of one, and the link to her Etsy store, and she is on fire. She is like just cranking out these bags and putting them in the shop, and she's making stitch markers, so go check out her shop. She's gotten constantly adding new stuff within the last couple weeks. Excuse me. So, and if you see something you cannot live without and you need right away, go to, she's got a coupon code CATTLADY15, 2 T's, which is good through the month of March, so until March 31st. So check her out. And yeah, 15% off anything in her shop. She's got some really cool things, and they're very well put together, and everything's, do I have any stitch markers? I think everything's somewhere else. I think it's downstairs. Oh wait, I do have them. Okay, show you her stitch markers real quick. Since I don't have the bag. This is my favorite case to keep my stuff in, like my little Notions case, I guess, for when I just kind of pop it in whatever bag I'm working out of. It's a glasses case, so it came with my glasses, but it's got a zipper on it, and it's hard. It's really cool. So, anyways, so here are her stitch markers. They're nice solid rings, little beads on it. And she's got all sorts of different kinds and sizes. And then she's got like the little progress keepers and stuff, so. Oh, I do have a, okay. So, check her out. And I think that was it for news. Oh, nope. VCAN, video knit night, virtual knit night, whatever you want to call it. Chatting on the computer. Me and Jen from the Uncreative Crafter, who is also Storm Coast on Ravelry, are kind of co-host Fridays. Random Fridays. It's been pretty consistent every Friday, but you know, sometimes I'll miss one here and there. If I can't be there, she'll be there usually, or if she can't be there, I'll try to be there. Last week I dropped the ball and was like off the face of the earth, so my lovely moderator friend, awesome guru Tanya, stepped in for me, so that was nice. So, and she's been doing my show notes for me too, which has been super nice. So. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But anyways, this Friday I will be there. So I don't know if Jen will be around, but I will be there. And so yeah, check us out. About 7:30, typically usually 7:30, depending on how the bedtime goes with the kids. Check the thread for the VCAN link. You need a Gmail account or a Google account, headphones ideally, and a webcam, optional, microphone. So. Whatever. Check it out. Lastly, just make sure to peruse the Ravelry group and see what's going on. You can chit chat, share your work. We have some other threads in there that are just full of just random goodness, so check them out. That's it for news, so on to knitting. I have some finished objects. I have so many finished objects that I couldn't pick just one to wear, so I'm wearing them all. So here we go. We have The Hitchhiker, which is by Martina Beam. This was done on size 5 needles, US 5, in the unicorn poop colorway, which is awesome. I don't know if you can see the sparkle in there or not, but it's got some sparkle. It's rainbowy and gray. This was by Love Knots, Rachel. So, it's a paid for pattern on Ravelry, but I don't know if you count the first tooth, calling these teeth, or not, like this first tiny little baby tooth. So if not, it's 36 teeth without, 37 with it, and you know the pattern calls for about 42. But I think she was using a slightly larger skein of yarn, number 1, and smaller needles. But I think I got gauge with the 5, but I think it called for like a 2. I couldn't imagine making this on 2. This was like, I mean, this is a good size on the 5, so whatever. It's done. Next was the Carrie shawl by Megan Sanders, who is of the TV Nerd Knits podcast and is several on Ravelry. This was awesome! So this is made out of my hand spun. So this is my first big hand spun project. This was like the first really successful spinning project that I actually got a decent amount of yardage. I had 359 yards approximately, and the pattern called for 400, so I knew it was going to be a little shy. Originally she suggested I step up a needle size. I did not, because I didn't like the way it was turning out, so I kept with the size 6, and I just eliminated a repeat. So, paid for pattern on Ravelry, but it's super pretty. Look at that. Just love how the colors turned out and how they're striping, kind of stripy. And yeah, the braid was just a nice blended mixed pink purple braid. Wasn't anything like stripes or gradients or anything. And then as far as spinning it, I had no rhyme or reason. I just spun all the singles, and then I believe I 2-plied it back on itself from the center pole ball. I'm pretty sure, yeah. So this really was just awesomeness that it came out so nice. So see some of the details up close there. Got some little lace work pattern repeats in there. So love it. And the braid was from Fiber Stash, which was a gift to me from Jen. And lastly is my Linus, which this is the second Linus shawl. The first one I did was the cranberry black colorway. This is the cream taupe. It's the Lion brand Scarfy. So yeah, I am on a shawl kick, an asymmetrical shawl kick. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shawls? Maybe more? At least 5 for camp, so it's been pretty good. So again, this is just a real simple, this one's real simple. I swear this yarn was just made for this pattern, because this is just uses this yarn so pretty, so beautifully. Because looking at the ball band, this is Lion brand Scarfy. Looking at the ball band, they just have the lady wearing a regular rectangular scarf. And you know, the colors gradate back and forth, and it looks okay. It kind of shied me away from buying it, because I'm like, it looks alright. It doesn't look great. But when you look at the skein, it looks cool. So then Rachel from Love Knots recorded a podcast a month or so ago, and she had made one of these out of the Scarfy, and I saw it, and I'm like, oh my gosh! And I went out and bought it that night, because I was like, okay, that yarn and that pattern need to go together for me. So this is the second one. Linus shawl by Annette Cords, size US 9 in the Scarfy. So, and I just used the whole skein, and it's perfect size. I mean, really, everything about it is pretty perfect. So, and it's nice and warm. So, now I'm cold. And then, lastly, I just finished these yesterday, the day before, maybe Saturday. Are my second pair of socks for my husband, my February socks. I'm gonna attempt to make a pair of socks a month. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But so far, I'm 2 for 2. So, and I'm kind of set for starting a third. So. These are Socks on a Plane by Laura Linneman in US 1.5 in Patents Croix Effects Cascade colors. So it's just this nice little, and it's free pattern. Nice little cable on the side. And then it's kind of the opposite side here, which I started the second sock and got like halfway through the first cable and realized I was doing it on the same side as the first sock, because I was just in that, I wasn't even looking at the pattern. I'm like, oh, second sock, let's go. And I'm like, oh. So I had to tear it out. And I don't tink, typically, unless it's a couple stitches or a row. I rip out. Because this was like 3 or 4 rows. So I had to rip back. And then stitches are flying everywhere, and I always pick them up backwards, and then I gotta knit them through the back loop and whatever, but I did it, so. And my hubby is so not picky, which is kind of nice for knitting socks, because I'm still not sure if these are like right, but he loves them. He thinks they're just fine. And these, if you notice, do not match. And to be honest, I had such little amounts left. I don't think I have one with me. That if I would have cut any of it out to try to get them to match up, it probably would have I might have screwed that up because these were supposed to be 50-gram balls, but I think I weighed the second one after I did the first one because these aren't as long as I typically make them either. We're talking like 2 inches shorter than I normally go because I usually go to the heel or to the toe, so I make them kind of equal length. And so I weighed the second ball before I started, and it was only 47 grams. That's a whole 3 grams. Okay, I mean, that's a substantial amount. I wanted enough left over for a mini, and still, and whenever I get down close to the end, I always just kind of, I don't like to play yarn chicken too often, so. So anyways, he's fine with them. He doesn't care. If it were me, I'd be a little bothered, but not too bad. But the colors are so muted and kind of gradual. The color change, the color difference doesn't even bother me or him. So I think it's a pretty long repeat too. I want to say, let's see. So it goes like I can't, like that was a thrum. I'm looking at the thing. I couldn't even really tell where the repeat was. I feel like it's a huge repeat. Because I don't even see this teal in there again. It's in there, I know, but let's see if I can see it better in this one. So we got green, blue. So I like, this might be the whole repeat. Like that's a big chunk. I can't just pull all that out to match them up. So these are done, need to be photographed, and then they have been washed and laid out. So I don't have sock blockers, but they just washing them and laying them out does the trick. So he'll be excited to wear those. And that's it. And that was a lot. So when I saw you last, I had just had a toe on one of these, I believe. I had, this was close, this was like maybe halfway, maybe close, I don't remember, I never put a marker on it. And this one was almost done, so I remember that. I think I only did like another repeat. And this one I didn't realize, oh, well, this one was pretty close to it. I probably only added a couple teeth, so yeah, everything was like almost done last time. So now everything's done. So works, as also for the socks, I did the Fish Lips Kiss heel. I cast on 40 for the toe, because he's got kind of white and boxy feet. I still don't know if this is quite right, but the 30 and increasing to 72 just looked funny on his feet. So this was a little wider. I think this looked better. I feel like I don't know if I need a different style toe for his feet. But again, he's like getting annoyed when I keep constantly trying on the sock and taking it off and trying to manipulate. Just make me socks. All right. And let me take a sip of my coffee. It's getting cold over here. Haven't had my coffee today. So, works in progress. I only have one? Yeah, I only have one work in progress right now. That's crazy. That's crazy. But it is my sweater. And I'm a little still disappointed. I need to try it on again today. Because last time I tried it on, it was a little big. As far as wide, the width. But I mean, oh, and there goes my coffee. Alright. Okay, I'll get that in a minute. As the width part, you know, and I guess, I mean, because the sweater's kind of, it form fits. This one, my book. And it's hard to tell on the needles, but it's going to be a little wide. It's going to stick out a little bit. Which, okay, is it really going to be, it's probably not going to be noticeable. I'm probably just, it's hard to tell when it's like half finished and you're trying on with needles flying everywhere and the collar's not done, and it's really hard to tell. And this, you know, the sleeve's gonna kind of shore it up on the side a little bit, but I ended up doing the decreases and then not increasing back because I felt like it was not, I mean, I might need to. Maybe I need to try it on right now because let's see, last time you saw and where I stopped the decreases was where that blue thingamajigger is. So if I try it on today and see where it lays, I mean, I got a pretty long torso, so maybe I'll need to increase a few as it gets down, because I want it to be a little bit longer too. Maybe not as long as this sweater. This is like tunic, but I want it to go past my, you know, maybe like zipper, mid-zipper. I don't know, most like, want it to fall so it's not like showing my butt when I bend over. So basically. So, but it's coming along. This is Brick by Claire Lee in the Knit Picks Brava worsted. US 9. Oh, in the Hunter colorway. And so yeah, I gotta just finish the body, work on the sleeves, do the collar, which I'm terrified of, the collar. Picking up stitches and knitting a collar, neckline, whatever. It's living in my BB-8 bag that I love from Brandy. And let's see. So yeah, I need to finish this for March. Ideally, I'm trying to finish it for camp. And so I cleared everything else off, the needles, got my February socks done. So I need, for March, really my only thing on the agenda is the sweater and my March socks. So my March socks are going to be using the Knit Picks Felici in the Madrigal colorway, which is super pretty. It's got the other skein here in my yarn it. But it's got like a light pink, a kind of purpley pink, got a dark blue, a light blue, and a green, and an orange. So really, I mean, this is like full of my favorite colors. I like the Julie tone colors. So I love this purple pink. I love the dark blue. I like the green, and I like pink. Yeah, so these will be fun. And Jen is supposed to cast hers on too, so we're kind of doing another sock knit along. So we'll see how that goes, because I'm sure she wants to finish hers for March as well. So those are the only two projects that I'm slating for camp, because this one, and I will be doing Java Pearl, who is a featured designer for March. CC's Vanilla Cappuccino Socks. If you go sign up for her newsletter, you get that pattern for free. So it's essentially just kind of it's a vanilla sock, but it's got a few little extras in there that to make it a little more interesting. I think she recommends the Fish Lips Kiss Heel, so that's cool. I'm not sure if she's got I haven't looked at the pattern if the toe is different or not, but if it is, I'll just go with it. And then I know it's got a slightly different, some other slightly different modifications, whatever. But it's essentially a vanilla sock, which I'm going to do anyways, especially with the stripy yarn. And I'll get bonus points for it, so that's pretty cool. So I'll get the bonus points for the designer, I'll get the bonus points for the color, because green, got my green in there. And bonus points for your hands, feet, the object. So that'll be all my bonus points. I'll get points for my sweater just by weight. I don't really need to worry about that. And that's all that I really need to get done. So maybe I'll work on sewing some more. Maybe I'll work on spinning some more. Maybe I'll start incorporating the other crafts. Since this is the last month of camp, I don't know. I don't know if I need to hit it hard and get on another 5 projects on the needles or what, but we'll see. I'm kind of, I'm not gonna say I'm burned out, but I'm definitely like, need a little variety. Maybe pull out the cross stitch. Lots of things to do. So, all right, I'm gonna pause it and clean up my coffee so I don't make a mess of all my stuff. Hold on. All right, we're back. Accessorized, cleaned up. So, that was it for knitting. So on to stash. So, I have a Potiversary coming up. End of March, so really a month out. And I'm starting to kind of try to think about things to do for giveaways. Of course, I'll have a bag or 2. I guess it depends on how much other stuff I come up with. Maybe I'll dig into the stash and see if there's anything I can pull out of there. But I did get something donated. Again, I don't want to ask for a bunch of donations, but I'll throw it out there one time. If anyone has anything they want to donate, let me know. So, but all in all, I will just try to put together some things on my own. So, but I got a lovely, I'm gonna backtrack 1 second because I'm super geeky excited about this. So back to my socks. So I am OCD about the socks. I want them to line up, the stripes, the colors, whatever. As long as the stripes line up, if the colors aren't the same, that's okay. But I don't like it when they're getting wonky stripes and just all over the place stripes. So I pulled out my yarn to see where I was as far as pulling out to match. I only had to cut off this much yarn and they match. Like, how awesome was that? So yes, I saved this to show you because I was very excited that I only had to cut off like a foot of yarn instead of like, you know, a mini's worth. So, okay, back to stash. So I got a lovely donation from Red Umbrella Yarns, who again is also is TV Nerd Knits podcast, Megan Sanders, the designer of the Carrie shawl. She does the podcast. She now dyes yarn, and she's relatively new. It's been maybe last summer, was it? Or last fall, maybe? I'm not good with time frames. But anyways, she let me pick out the colors, and basically I picked out two, and I said, I don't know which one I'm keeping and which one I'm giving away, and I'm still a little, I'm still having a hard time, but I think I've decided, so I'll show you the two first. This is King's Cake, so it's like Mardi Gras themed. So look how gorgeous that is. And again, these are kind of similar to the Madrigal, really. It's got that pinky color, the blue, and the green. So it really is similar. But it's got a nice bright yellow as opposed to orange. So that's why I really like it. It's full of my favorite colors, really. It's like a nice little the magenta pink, the purple, the green. So there's that. And this is on her Champ de Mars base, which it's got a picture of the Eiffel Tower on it. It's pretty cool. She's got cool labels. Here's her label. Fingering weight, 438 yards, 100 grams, 100% superwash merino. She's got a couple other bases. She's got a sock base, so it's the merino nylon, and then she's got a worsted base. I think those are the three. But I figured shawl yarn. And then this one, which this I'm having a hard time letting go, but she still has it in the shop, so I'm probably just gonna go ahead and order one. So here is another Champ de Mars, fingering weight, 438 yards, superwash merino, yo-yo flamingo. Oh, and it's got speckly stuff in it, and it's super bright, and yeah, it's like blowing out the camera bright, but you know, you got all that speckly stuff, and it's awesome. So, but I think I'll give this away for the Podiversary. So, and I'll just get another one for me. If I do end up ordering another one, I might pick which one I like better. But we'll see. And then I'll keep this one seasonal because it was Mardi Gras. She said she'd dye it again, you know, for the season. Sorry, fixing my hair there. So, you know, this one's a little more special, and and this one comes with a secret special surprise. So, if you're familiar with a King's Cake, basically, I've never had one, but there inside the King's Cake is a baby, and whoever gets the baby, I think is supposed to be brings the King's Cake the next year or something like that. I don't know exactly the story, but inside this yarn is a baby. I thought that was hilarious. So, and it's just hanging out in here, so hilarious, hanging out in the yarn. So I thought that was hilarious. So check out her shop, Red Umbrella Yarn. She has limited colorways. You know, she's got a few up in the shop right now, and she kind of keeps adding and kind of bringing them as she goes along. And all the colors are gorgeous. She's got some self striping, and she's got some striping like kits. So like the striped yarn with the contrast heel toe, which is really pretty. So, and it's very affordable and very nice. So I'm very excited to knit one of these up. So I gotta find a pattern for this. If you got any pattern ideas, I should knit a swatch and see how it looks. See if I like it in stockinette or garter, or maybe I'll cake this up today. Cake up the King's Cake. And then I got, and I'm gonna put in a picture of this. This was from Tanya because half of it's missing. So lovely Tanya sent me a package, and there's still a piece of chocolate left. How did that happen? Well, the other chocolate is gone. This is the last piece of chocolate. So I got some candies, and I think that's funny that these are called, yeah, I'm a little confused here now that I'm looking at these. So these are called Smarties, which I haven't opened them. Well, looking at the box description, they don't look like Smarties. These look like Smarties. And these are called Rockets. So that's confusing to me because these should be Smarties and these should be something else. But it's candy and I'll eat it, so. Maybe it was for my kids, I don't know, but I'm gonna eat it, so maybe I'll give them some. But she got my kids some coloring books. The Mickey and Minnie coloring book, and then a Paw Patrol, which I'm assuming she probably had in her mind, okay, David will get the Paw Patrol, and Emily will get the Mickey Minnie, because it was a cute little Easter coloring book. David loves the Mickey Minnie Easter one, because it's got bunnies in it, and he is like, he loves his red bunny that Mama made him, so he loves bunnies. So every page, he's pointing at the bunnies, and he's so excited, so that's cute. So we got tea, lemon thriller, ooh, French vanilla, honey and ginger, orange sorbet, and the amazing pink lemonade. This 4 o'clock tea is really good. This pink lemonade is exceptionally good. And then minis! Oh, that's right. So this month of March is going to be blanket month. Okay? So I'm going to work on my sweater, I'm going to work on socks, and I am going to pull out that blanket, and I'm going to do squares, because I'm getting all these fun minis from everyone. So, we got Nip Picks, Pattons, Hawthorne, Stroll. So, all sorts of fun little minis. Of course, wrapped up so cute in mini form. So, thank you so much, Tanya. That was super sweet. And thanks for the extras for the kids. Oh, and yeah, like I said, there was a bunch of chocolate in there, but I ate it, so that's why I took a picture. And I figured the coloring books too, so. And then last, I got a mini from my friend Tara, who is Green Gal, Michigan. Green Gal, MI. We met at the mall last week, and she brought me a mini. And this is a Tanis Fiber Arts Red Label Papaya Merino Cashmere Silk. Oh, yeah. And it's a single ply. I have a thing for those single plies. So, that was from Tara. Thank you, Tara. And we're hoping to do a weekly, every other week mall walk, so, because we had a good time. So, I need to talk to her, see if we're going to do that again tomorrow. So, David was with me, so I just push him around in the stroller. But yeah, we had a good time. So, also, at the mall, when I went to the mall, I picked up some of that Tiavana pineapple, Kona Pop pineapple tea. Yeah. Stuff's really good, so I bought a whole bag of it. Like, I think it was half a pound? I think it was a half a pound, so a decent amount. So yeah, made a couple cups of that. And that is really good, just smelling it. I could just sit and smell the bag all day. It smells so good. So, that's it for stash, I think. I feel like I'm missing so many things because it's been a while, but got my Star Wars cereal the other week with BB-8 on it. I couldn't, we're trying to eat better. We occasionally get the fruity cereal. I try to stick with organic cereal, honestly. I'm walking down but every time I've gone down to the aisle, they always have the Kylo Ren box. I don't want the Kylo Ren box, I want the BB-8 box. I've seen it like on advertisements or something I hadn't ever seen in the store. So I saw it and I'm like, oh, well I have to get it now. So, and then hubby saved the box for me after he ate the rest of the cereal. He's like, what are you going to do with that? I'm like, I don't know, but for now it's going to stay with my BB-8 shrine here. There we go. Got all my BB-8s in the background. Okay, so week in review. Week and a half in review. So, last weekend, so not this past weekend, but the weekend before, I was doing my VKN on Friday, and the power went out. It was like 9:30. So, it was very windy, and I was commenting on the VKN, like, I felt like the house was gonna blow away. So, and then, yeah, all of a sudden the power went out. So, that was a bummer. So, I ended up binding off my hitchhiker, my flashlight, because I was like, right there. So I'm like, well, I might as well finish it. And I had just cast off the carry, and then I ended up going and, or was the carry blocking at that point? Maybe I didn't I don't remember. I remember I cast them both off at the same time, the same day. I must have cast off the carry in the afternoon. So the carry was blocking. Hitchhiker I cast off at 9:30 and bound it off, and then kids were sleeping. I had nothing else to do. I ended up blocking it, so I just soaked it and blocked it by flashlight. I didn't pin every single tooth. I just laid it out because I figured it was fine. And then I slept like crap. So Jim was gone because he had some work stuff and he was staying over. He had to work training the next day, which was about an hour or two out, hour and a half out from here. And a bunch of the people from work were getting together closer, and some were staying at his cousin's cottage. So he ended up staying the night at his cousin's, since they were family business. So he wasn't home. So it was loud and it was dark and scary. So I know, total girly moment. So I slept terribly, and then only an Amber Alert went off at like 2 in the morning, which, okay, that's scary too, because, you know, someone's child is missing, but it's freaked the crap out of me. So we had dealt with that, and then, yeah, so then I woke up at like 7, like normal time, and the kids were like, hey, nothing works. I'm like, yeah, nothing works. And they're like, hey, this doesn't work either. Nothing works. Hey, the lights aren't working down here either. Okay, nothing works. Stop touching the light switches. Let me try this one. I'm like, no. So don't open the refrigerator. So yeah, now the refrigerator's been off since 9:30 at night. So we're going on 10 hours. So I'm freaking out. Like, luckily I hadn't just gone shopping or anything, so I didn't have a ton of food in there, but there was still food in there. And then I was like, okay, well, what are we doing for breakfast? So I yanked open the fridge, grabbed the milk, closed it. I couldn't make coffee. Oh, so disappointed. So I got him our cereal. I think it was our Star Wars cereal. It wasn't that one though, it was a different Star Wars cereal. And we ate some cereal and just kind of didn't know exactly what to do, and then power came back. And then it flickered again a few times, but it stayed, so thankfully. So yeah, he didn't lose any of my food because it was still cold in there. It was still plenty cold. So, and then I can make my coffee. So I made my coffee, and then we went to karate since I think we still needed to go for our second time for the week. So went to karate, did that, and just kind of lounged around, watched movies for half the day, most of the day. Pretty laid back. I want to say the kids didn't behave themselves that well, but it was alright. By the time Jim got home, I was ready to get out of there because I was going out. So he got home, and I pretty much said, hey, love you, bye. Well, actually, we had some pizza, and then I went to painting with a twist. So it's one of those sip and paint kind of things where you sit and drink wine and paint. Someone instructs you how to paint a picture. So I did that, and I was with one of Emily and David's old preschool teachers who doesn't work at the facility anymore. We still kind of chat, and she kind of babysits for us sometimes. And then a bunch of other current teachers and other moms and stuff. So it was an eclectic group of people, but, you know, it's not like you're really socializing that much. You're more just painting, and we had some snacks and some drinks, but I sat next to David's teacher, so I like her, so she's fun. So yeah, I painted a picture, and it turned out alright. It's not a picture I know what to do with, because I don't exactly know where to display it. Jim has it sitting on our mantle in the family room right now, but it is some wine glasses. So, you know, it was appropriate for the evening. So yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I love these. I've done one other one, and the other one was okay. I really didn't like the painting at all. Like, I just didn't like the original painting. It was some sort of just weird background, and then it had some words written on it or something, like family or something. I don't know. It turned out okay, but it's in my closet. This one I at least am more apt to put out if I can find the right place for it. But here's the cheater tip. She gave us stencils to trace the wine glasses, because I think, you know, we're under a time constraint. We gotta paint this in 2 hours. So she gave us like just a piece of paper with the shape of this glass, and then this one's just reversed. And then we traced it with chalk first, just the outside of it. And then we went back in and, you know, we had to do the wine first in each glass. And then we came back and did the outline in each glass. Something like that. I don't know. So, but yeah. That was not too bad. So, I had a lot of fun. And then after that, I went to the bar with David's teacher and one of the other teachers, and got a beer and a veggie platter from a bar. I was still kind of hungry, and I was thinking, you know, I'm trying to eat better, and I saw in the appetizer section a veggie tray was just celery, carrots, and cucumbers. And it was a decent portion of it with ranch. So why not? So of course the ranch wasn't good for you, but I ate a plate full of veggies, so there you have it. At like 10 o'clock at night. So, with a beer. So that was weird. But yeah, we had fun. And then Sunday, I don't remember what we did Sunday. I think we probably just lounged around. Everyone was pretty tired. And then last week, I had kickboxing. So I did kickboxing on Monday. And then Tuesday, I went to the mall with Tara. And just kind of chilled with David. Then we had snowstorm on Wednesday. So it started to snow Wednesday morning. And I kept getting alerts like on Monday that there was going to be a big storm coming Wednesday. I'm like, why am I getting alerts on Monday about a storm that's coming on Wednesday? And then I get up Tuesday. The alerts kept coming. Like, okay. And then the weather radio went off. Like, okay, well, this is going to be a decent storm. Well, it was. It was pretty bad Wednesday. You know, it was right after, like, right as Emily was getting on the bus, it started to lightly snow. So, which was like 8 o'clock. By the time mid-afternoon when school was getting out, we got a message from the school that all afternoon activities were canceled and that high school and middle school were getting out early, elementary same time. Probably just to give buses some time to drop off all the middle school, high school, and then come back for the elementary. So yeah, by the time Jim had to come, and Jim came home from work early, because yeah, the roads were getting bad. Well, like at 3, like right, I might have been before Emily got home from school or shortly after. They closed. They called it closed for the next day. Like, really? So that didn't seem to make a lot of sense because Jim's like, the roads are okay. They're okay. They're not terrible. They're not great. But, you know, you got a whole night here that salt trucks will be out and should get them together. Well, so they called to him. Like, all right, fine. They haven't had any snow days. You know, we're easing our way out of winter here, so. Okay. So no school on Thursday. Well then, so I know kickboxing. And that doesn't follow the school schedule, but I got an email saying no kickboxing Wednesday night. So then Thursday comes along, no school. Okay, we played outside, and we had a good time. Sort of. Kids are just driving me crazy, pretty much, but hence why I didn't record last week, so I should have recorded on Wednesday, but it was like, you know, I just didn't get to it, and then I was like, okay, I'll do it on Thursday, and then, lo and behold, both kids are home Thursday. And then Friday, no school again. And this time it was like, really? They're like, oh, it's gonna get icy. The roads were fine. Okay, I know some of the back roads weren't even that bad. I went on one of the back roads to get David to school, because there's a shorter way I can go if I go through, like, this recreation area. It's like a wooded, you know, state parks type place. That, you know, it's dirt road, snowy. That would be a good representation of what the back roads would be like. It was okay. I shouldn't have went down it with my car. Because, I mean, it got a little deep in spots and whatever, but I feel like a bus wouldn't have a problem. I feel like they were just throwing these days out just because, like, hey, it's Friday. We got days to use for snow days. Might as well use them, so. Which is fine, but it's like, oh, another day home with both kids. So. Didn't record on Friday. And there was also no kickboxing Thursday either. So I went to kickboxing Monday. I haven't worked out since. Because I'm like, okay, I gotta work out at home this weekend. Nada. So I'm having a hard time following through. I go to my class, I do that, I enjoy it. But I come home and I'm just like, I don't want to do anything. So, this weekend we cleaned. We haven't cleaned the house thoroughly in a while, so we spent Saturday cleaning upstairs and, you know, organizing stuff, and I cleaned my crafts area, and, you know, we just got some things together, and then Saturday night at VKN, finally, because it'd been since the previous Friday the power outage. So, did that for a little bit. I was tired, so I didn't stay up too late, but it was fun, and I made some drinks. My new favorite drink is a grapefruit martini. You use this elderflower liqueur. It's called St. Germain's. It's kind of pricey, but it's really good. And you only use a little bit. And then vodka, simple syrup, and grapefruit juice. And then shake it in the shaker. And I always make a double because, you know, martinis are so small. So I have a double, and that's plenty for me for the night. You know, that's really just my drink for the night. So I made some of those, and Jim had some too. So, and he's not typically a drinker, but he'll drink sometimes if I make him something. So, and he likes grapefruit juice, so he had one. I think we had those on Friday too. Yeah, I think I went out Friday and got them. Okay, anyways, so started taking my vitamins again. I think that's helping with the blahs. So I'm hoping keep that up. I filled up my vitamin Monday through Thursday old person pill container. So, yeah, just clean. Did grocery shopping yesterday. My hubby is very sweet. He's like, we'll go grocery shopping today, as in yesterday, Sunday, so that you can record in the morning and I don't have to worry about it. I do still have to run out today and get a few things, but all in all, we got the majority of the shopping done. So, thank you, hubby. French press is working well. Thank you to everyone who has chimed in about the French press. So this is my coffee I'm drinking. It's a Nicaragua blend. I don't know. And it's nice and cold now. So, but it's working out well. I've been using it every day, so I have no issues with it. It's a little more time consuming. I bought a kettle to put on the stove, so I'm not using just a saucepan. So water heats up faster and easier to pour. So. And it's good for tea too, so I bought a cheap kettle. It doesn't even whistle properly, but it's fine. You can tell when the water's boiling. And then there's a store at the mall, a coffee shop at the mall that sells a ton of like flavored beans and stuff, and they'll grind them for you, so that was really cool. And they have some sample packs and stuff, so might have to pop in there and get some different flavor coffees to try out. So I'm typically just a regular coffee girl, but it's fun to try some different flavors, especially if they're fresh beans from a coffee place. So I'll give that a go. And in other just stuff that I've been doing recently, I've just finished Star Wars audiobook, the Thrawn trilogy, I think by Timothy Zahn. I finished book 1 this weekend, so I haven't started book 2 yet. There's 3. Really good. Here's the deal. Apparently the stories are not they're not canon, as the word is called. They were written, these books were written I think in the 90s, and they follow the story of Luke, Han, and Leia after the original 3 movies. So essentially it's like it could technically be an episode 7 kind of deal, but when they decided to come out with episode 7, or a couple years ago or whatever, they decided to say any books that were written, about these stories, these are all kind of pretend stories. This isn't how it's going to go anymore. So they're just legends or whatever they want to call them. But they're fun. So, and they're really nicely written, and I'm doing the audiobook, and the guy who's narrating is awesome. So he does all the voices, like, really cool. So that's been fun to listen to, and I've been listening to it on 1.5 speed, which my husband's like, how can you listen to it like that? You're ruining it. Like, but I can get through it. It was a 14-hour book, and I got through it in like 3 days. It was, I don't know, it's just so much nice to be able to get them done. It doesn't bother me at all. I've been listening to all my podcasts that way, and it doesn't bother me. So I'll just keep listening to them a little bit faster and get through them a little quicker. So I finished that one. I got to work on this, start listening to the second one. And then last night we picked this up a while ago, and it's kind of it's a young adult book. So I mean, literally, I made it through more than half of it in an hour and a half. But this is called Before the Awakening, and it's just 3 mini stories of Finn, Rey, and Poe. So this was kind of just a little glimpse of their backstory. So yeah, the Finn and Rey one have been really depressing and sad. I'm hoping the Poe one is a little more upbeat, because he's more the fighter hero for the hero type guy, whereas obviously Finn and Rey have a little bit sadder histories. So, but I just started Poe this morning, so I will probably finish that tonight. And then we have some Star Wars comic books that I think Jim picked up for himself for Christmas. So we have, what is this one? Skywalker Strikes. Star Wars Shattered Empire. I don't know anything about these, but he set them on my nightstand, so I'll probably read them. And Princess Leia. Haha. So these are cool. And these are like flat out comics, you know, comic books. So these will be quick reads. I can read these in an evening, of course. So those will be fun. And oh, and I listened to the Force Awakens audiobook. Forgot about that before I started the Thrawn trilogy. Sorry, my nose is itchy. I listened to episode 7 audiobook, and oh my gosh, it was like, once again, book's better than the movie. In this case, they kind of went hand in hand. It was nice to see the movie and kind of have a visual of everything that happened, and then be able to transcribe that or transform that into the audiobook as we're reading it. I can picture the scenes. However, there was a few parts that were in the book that weren't in the movie that kind of should have been. There was like key things I felt like that were kind of important to the story, which, you know, they'll come out eventually, I'm sure, but like there were things that should have been in there that would have been easy to just put a scene in there, you know, to explain a little more, but again, maybe they'll come out a little bit later in different movies. But yeah, it was great. So, and again, it was the same narrator. The narrator guy is awesome. So, Mark Thompson, I think his name is. And yeah, so I did the Force Awakens, and then now Thrawn trilogy, book 1, on to book 2, and then book 3, and then my husband has a handful of other Star Wars audiobooks on there, so I'll see which ones of those I want to listen to. So that's all I got. So I'm back and put together a little bit today. So I'm hoping hoping I'm on the upswing here of this crazy funkiness that's been February. So and I'm hoping once I get myself situated and I need to audit for camp, I will do a mini camp episode, because I feel like I've been slacking this month on the camp. I need to draw for my bonus points. I already figured out what I'm going to do for bonus points, so I need to sit down and actually do it. Today, since it's the last day of February, give out all my February bonus points, and then March will start fresh. New month. Last month of camp. Just gonna push through this. The auditing is tricky, you know. There's, you know, all the points to calculate and keep track of, and the threads are getting longer and longer because people are just posting out, and yeah, so I need to sit down today and do that, which now that I get this out of the way, I'll be happy to do that, and I'll maybe do a little mini camp episode for my campers. So with that, again, thank you guys for sticking with me and checking me out if you're new, and just feel free to friend me on Ravelry, on Instagram, like this, subscribe on YouTube. Get a talking words. So, hoping to get to 500 subscribers before my 1-year podiversary. That'd be pretty cool. So I'm at like 430 something or 20 something. So if you haven't subscribed on YouTube, please give me a little love if you like what you see. And yeah, well, that's it. So I hope everyone has a good week. It's Monday. Maybe I'll get back to my Monday schedule. Wouldn't that be something? So got a busy week ahead of just same old, taking care of the kids, karate, kickboxing, yada, yada, yada. So I look forward to talking to you guys again, and hope you get to go craft all the things. See you later. Bye.